What up, though, family and friends? Hoping and praying that each one of you are doing good in your health as well as in your spirit. We thank you for subscribing and sharing the videos. We're getting a lot more followers now, and we're truly, truly grateful. We got a pretty good message today. We want to entitle it, "The Behavior and the Evidence Cannot Lie." The behavior and the evidence cannot lie. You know, the evidence on a person is what convicts them. It what tells whether they're guilty or not. And this should be the same way in your relationships. Women look at the behavior and the evidence of a person. Do a background check. I ain't talking about going on the computer and checking out if he did a crime, because everybody has a past, and everybody's past is not all squeaky clean. I'm just talking about the evidence in his life. Whether he has a good relationship with his children. If he don't have a good relationship with his children, how can he have one with you and yours? Does he have a good relationship with the women in his life? His grandmother, his mother, his aunt, and his sisters. Look at that evidence, because if he has a good relationship with them, that means he's been taught. He knows how to treat a woman, and that's most likely how he'll treat you. Look at his spiritual foundation. And once again, we talked about this before. We're not talking about religion. We're talking about him having a relationship with something greater than himself. You know, and I mean, look at that evidence, because the behavior and the evidence can't lie. It's always the truth. Even men. Now, look at the behavior and the evidence on a woman. If she has multiple babies by multiple different guys, red flag. You know, if she hasn't had a job in the last 4 or 5 years, or she's had the same Burger King or flipping burgers restaurant type job in the last 5 to 7 years, look at that evidence. It's not a good sign. And also, whether how many relationships he's been in, even with men. I want to I forgot to point this out earlier. With men, if they're in their 40s and their 50s and they've had 7 to 10 different relationships, that means that they're unstable in relationships. So that's not a good sign for you to have in your life. Somebody that goes from relationship to relationship. I'm not talking about long-term relationships. I'm not talking about the hit and miss relationships. We're talking about long-term relationships. You know, if you had more than 7 to 10 of them, you're unstable in that type of area. I have a good friend that I grew up with, and I love him dearly. You know, he has 7 children by 5 different women. That's my man. I love him. We grew up together, but relationship is not one of his strong areas. You know, so he's not good in that area. And women, I mean, men look at women the same way. If they've had multiple men in their life, that means that she's unstable in relationships. There's something wrong with her in that area, and she might not be the committed type. So the evidence and the behavior cannot lie. Hope and praying that you all are getting something out of this. Continue to share them on your page. Please continue to subscribe to them. Like the show I always talk about and I love so much, Ellen DeGeneres, she always says, be kind to one another. And I like to add a little more to it and say, be kind to one another, because it won't cost you nothing. We pray that God bless you and God keep you. Peace.